Welcome back to our Cybersecurity Insights podcast. Today we're tackling a topic that's absolutely crucial for modern enterprises: secure managed file transfer. Now, I know what you're thinking. MFT, hasn't that been solved already? Well, not quite. We're going to explore why the old solutions simply aren't cutting it anymore and what truly modern MFT looks like.
Absolutely right. And this is where things get interesting. We're not just talking about moving files around anymore. We're living in an era where advanced persistent threats have literally become a business model. The old approach of just encrypt it and stick some access controls on directories is frankly obsolete. Today we're looking at what happens when you completely reinvent MFT for the modern threat landscape.
That's a fascinating premise. So we're essentially saying that the MFT solutions from the 1990s and 2000s are no longer fit for purpose?
Precisely. Think about it. The first generation of MFT vendors built their architectures when the internet was a very different place. APT attacks weren't the sophisticated, persistent campaigns we see today. But now we need something completely different. Hardened virtual appliances, next-generation flow engines, enterprise scale-out capabilities.
And when you say hardened virtual appliance, what does that actually mean in practical terms?
It's all about layers of protection. We're talking about systems built from the ground up to minimize exploit opportunities. A perfect example is how these modern systems demonstrated resilience against major vulnerabilities like 2022's Log4Shell. Whilst other platforms were scrambling to patch, hardened systems were already protected.
That's quite impressive. And I imagine the security approach is rather comprehensive.
Oh, it's thorough. The hardening process begins at product conception, leveraging OASP best practices, both defensive and offensive strategies, third-party penetration testing, and bounty programs. You get embedded firewalls, web application firewalls protecting the perimeter, plus assume breach architecture for advanced threat protection.
Now, from an operational perspective, one of the biggest challenges with security solutions is actually proving that they work. How do modern MFT solutions address compliance and audit requirements?
This is where centralized audit logging becomes absolutely critical. Modern solutions provide a consolidated view of all activities across every communication channel and system service. The beauty is that you're not just collecting logs, you're getting standardized, pre-cleaned data that feeds directly into your SIEM systems.
And that must be invaluable for compliance audits.
Absolutely. When audit time comes around, and let's face it, that's becoming more frequent, you have built-in reporting and export capabilities. You're not scrambling to piece together evidence from multiple systems. Everything is there. Downloads, edits, configuration changes, permission grants, all tracked and readily accessible.
That leads nicely into another crucial aspect: policy enforcement. How do you ensure consistent security across an entire organization?
This is where centralized policy management really shines. Administrators can define and enforce policies across the entire system, ensuring consistent application of security measures and compliance rules. It eliminates the risk of policy gaps and inconsistencies that occur when you have separate controls for each communication channel.
So we're talking about unified governance rather than a patchwork of different solutions?
Exactly. It's about building a robust, secure, and compliant digital environment, rather than trying to manage multiple point solutions. The administrative overhead drops dramatically when you can manage everything from a single console.
Now let's talk about credibility. In the security world, there's often a gap between marketing claims and actual capabilities. How do you separate the wheat from the chaff?
This is where third-party validation becomes absolutely crucial. Don't just take vendor claims at face value. Look for rigorous ongoing assessments. For instance, FedRAMP authorization requires testing against 325, security controls for NIST 853. And that's not a one-time event.
So it's about ongoing validation rather than just initial certification?
Precisely. The testing and audit process must be repeated yearly to maintain authorization. Similarly, IRAP assessments test against 816 protected level security controls for Australian government use. These aren't marketing exercises, they're comprehensive security evaluations by accredited third parties.
And I imagine this level of validation gives organizations confidence when dealing with sensitive data.
Absolutely. When you're handling government data, financial information, or any sensitive content, you need that peace of mind that comes from rigorous, ongoing third-party security assessments. It's not just about meeting compliance requirements. It's about genuinely protecting your organization's most valuable assets.
So let's recap what we've learned about modern MFT solutions. We're talking about hardened architectures designed from the ground up for today's threat landscape, comprehensive audit capabilities that make compliance straightforward, and centralized policy enforcement that eliminates security gaps.
The key takeaway is that this isn't just about moving files securely. It's about building a comprehensive data governance and protection framework. Modern MFT solutions provide the foundation for secure collaboration whilst maintaining complete visibility and control over sensitive data. And the validation aspect cannot be overstated. In a world full of security promises, look for solutions that undergo rigorous third-party testing and maintain those certifications over time. FedRAMP and IRAP authorizations aren't just badges. They're proof that the solution can handle the most demanding security requirements. For organizations looking to modernize their file transfer capabilities whilst maintaining the highest security standards, it's worth exploring what truly modern MFT looks like. Visit Kiteworks.com to see how comprehensive data governance and security can work together.
That's our deep dive into modern managed file transfer solutions. Thanks for joining us, and remember, in today's threat landscape, your file transfer solution is only as strong as its weakest security layer.
Until next time, keep your data secure and your transfers protected.
If it's private, kite it.